Okay, so we're going to now look at the particle beam system, and there's a series of things that we need to set up, and it'll use the beam material that we created in the previous video. Now this particle system, okay, is specifically for a beam emitter. So what I've done is I've opened up the beam particle, which is the default system, okay, and I've also got the one that has all been set up. So we'll go through the process first. Okay, right, so the first thing to do is we need to make sure that it's a beam particle. So if you right click and we go to type data, okay, and select new beam data. That's the first thing that you need. Okay. The next one, if you go to the required node, you can see that there's a default beam material. We want to replace that with the one that we created before, called beam material. Okay. Okay, so I'll just save that. You can actually see what's happening, that the beam is just being generated. Okay, and there. Okay. All right, next time. Lifetime is how long the particle lasts for. We want it to last the same, so we just put maximum and minimum as one. So let's go to that. Lifetime, and everything's the same, so there's no need to change anything in there. So let's go to initial size. Now that determines how big the particle is. Now this will be in centimeters, so we're going to set this as 0.5. Okay, so make sure, so you select the initial size, and then inside here you set X, Y, and Z at 0.5. Okay, you can see if you go back to the default one, if we go to initial size, it's different, so you need to change those. All right. Okay. Okay, so next one is initial velocity. Okay. Now make sure that's 0. Okay. Okay. Go back to, yeah. You'll see in the default one, there's a component called color over life. We can actually remove that. So right click it and just delete module. Okay. Now what we will need is we'll need an initial color node. So to add that, dead easy. So obviously get rid of that one and go color, initial color. Now this is going to determine the color of the actual laser. So if we open that up, and we can change that to the color that we want and press OK, you can see now that the node is red. So compile that, save that. Okay. Now we need 2 other nodes. Now these are important because these will be affected by the scripting, the start and the end of the laser. Okay, and they're called source and target. So to create those, we go to our test one, we right click and we go to find it. So if you go to beam, you can see we've got one cold source and one target. So just make sure that you've got those in. So go back to beam again and target. Because without those, we won't be able to tell it where the beam is going to be drawn from and to. Okay. So let's go back to the one that's already done. So we've got initial color, initial size, we've done that. Lifetime, we've done that. Required. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, everything's done. Okay, so we'll just save that. Okay, so your particle system now has been created. Okay. And if I just drag the particle system in, you can actually see it working there. You can actually see the particle system being generated. But you probably also noticed that with it automatically firing, it's actually moving around. Okay, so we'll fix that in the next video. Okay, but that's your particle system ready to go.